Welcome to the video on how to stylize links and work with the 4 states of links. To stylize a link, you just got to call upon it just like you would anything else and choose the A tag and give it some style in your CSS. What's commonly used for styling links besides color is text decoration, where you can control whether or not something has an underline to it, a background color where you can make it look like it has a box or a button to click on, and font weight, where you can make the text bold or you can control how bold the text becomes. So you can actually control like how thick the boldness is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stylize the links that we created in our previous lesson on our London page that we've created for cities. So to do that, I'm going to go to my CSS here at the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and just call upon my A tag just like I would anything else and open up my brackets. And we're going to make it have a different color. So I'm just going to give it a color of white. When you give it the color of white, you'll see that it will appear as white, including the underline. And you'll see that even when you hover over it, it's white, whereas before it might have changed colors. That's because it's overriding all 4 states of a link when you use just the A to call upon the tag. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust that real quick. I'm going to make it dim gray so that it matches the theme of my page. But you can see that even though I've been to London, the London website, it's gray. Even though I haven't been to the Tokyo website, it's gray. So no matter what, it's overriding all of those. So now we need to talk about link states. There are 4 states to a link. There is the A link, where it's a normal unvisited link, a visited, where the user's already been to that website link before, a hover, when the user hovers over a link, and a active, the moment that the link is actually clicked. And I think it's very important to note that links can be styled differently depending on what state they're in. So you can see over here in the example that when a user has not visited the link, the text will be red. If they visited it, it's green. If they're hovering over it, it's going to turn hot pink. And if it's active, it's going to be blue. And you can add more and more properties to each of these. So I want to show you really quickly kind of what that looks like when you're looking at buttons and links. So here's the W3 Schools site. And I think it's important to note, like even up here at the navigation, you've got all these links here. And when I hover over them, they turn dark gray or black. When I haven't hovered over them, they're just dark gray. When I visited them or I'm on them, you can see they're green. And you have different styles down here for these sublinks as well. So when I haven't been to them or I haven't hovered over them, they're black. When I'm hovering over them, they got a gray background. You've got that for buttons here. You've got that for text link here. So you can see like when I hover over this one, it turns blue. Here it gets an underline and actually changes a different color green. This one looks like a button, but it's really just text. They've added a border. They've added some padding where it pushes the text away from the edge. And when I hover over it, it turns green with white text. Same thing here for the red one, orange red one, where you can have it look like a button as well. So you can really stylize links, and it says like with color, font family, background, etc. You can do lots of things with links when you're styling them. So when we're styling links, it's important to note that there's actually one real rule about link states and how you have to list them. So you have to list a hover after you list a link and a visited. So you can see here they do a link, a visited, and then a hover. And a active must come after a hover because of the order in which these things happen. So the computer is going to check like, have you ever been to the link first? Then it's going to check if you're hovering over it and whether or not you're clicking on it. And you're going to hover before you click. So that's why they need to be listed in this order. So let's go ahead and stylize some link states. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our CodePen. And we're going to, instead of just using the overall A tag, we're going to start stylizing individually. So I'm going to go ahead and put A : and then link. And what this will do, the colon, what it does is it says, okay, I'm going to stylize the A tag, but I need to specify a little bit more like what part of this do I need to stylize? And you'll find that some tags will have this colon, and then you get to specify a certain state or declaration for it to be specific. So a link is going to be dim gray. And then let's make a visited a color of black. The second I do that, you'll see that my Paris and my London are now black and my Tokyo is dim gray because I haven't clicked on my Tokyo, but I've been to Paris and London and my computer is recognizing that. I'm then going to go ahead and do a hover, and I'm going to go ahead and make that have a color of white. Once I do that, you can see that when I hover over these, they then turn white. The last one is A active, and this one's a little hard to see because it's that moment that you're clicking it. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it a random color, really bright, and I'm just going to do like a green, so that way I might be able to just see it when I click on it. Really important before you click on any of these links, save this code pen, because if you don't save this code pen, you're going to lose all that work when you click on the link. So I'm going to go ahead and try London, and if I click on it and I hold my click, it turns green, and that's the moment in which I can see the active state. So I'm going to click that, and you'll see it'll take me to London. If I refresh the page up here at the top, I can then go back and see my page reloaded here. So that's how you can kind of control the different states. I challenge you to go in and like remove the underline on some of them and make them bold when you hover over them, or add a background color. So that way you can kind of figure out like, how do these look as I use the different states of the link? But just remember there's 4, and it's important that you list them in the order that they'll be used. Like, have I visited that? Am I hovering over it? And am I clicking on it?